Welcome back to another Bolt tutorial. In today's video, we're going to learn how to generate and add a video background to your landing page in the most optimal way. This is a fantastic way you can add a personalized touch and boost engagement on your site. To do so, we're going to follow 4 steps. Firstly, we're going to generate a variety of images using the state-of-the-art image generation models. Secondly, we'll turn our favorite image into a video. Third, we'll learn how to optimize this video using a free open source program called Handbrake. And finally, we'll upload this video to a CDN like Cloudinary and add it to your own custom-built Bolt site as the hero background. Because generating a video requires more compute and tokens than generating an image, I like to start by generating an image until I'm happy with it, and then once I am, generating the video from that. For this demo, let's use the same prompt across 3 of the state-of-the-art models to determine which image we like the best. Here I am starting off in OpenAI, and we'll be using an Image Gen 2 model that was recently released. Here's our prompt. Create a cinematic landscape photograph looking down at the side of a beautiful, well-maintained old sailing boat. The water should be aquamarine blue and calm. The photograph should look as though it's been taken by a drone from a bird's eye view looking directly down. Let's now go ahead and click Create Image. We can then refine. We'll make sure that it's landscape, styles. I'm happy with what we've outlined here, and let's build. Let's now send the same prompt off in Grok Imagine. We've made sure that we're on image with the quality mode selected with landscape aspect ratio, and let's build. And finally, we'll try this in Gemini. Tools, Create Image. Let's go with Pro and Build. Let's have a look at the results. Here we are in OpenAI's image generation, and I quite like the look of this. It looks really detailed, looking right down the mast. Now, if we're going to be using this as the background for our hero section on our website, something we want to be paying attention to is where we're going to have the title. Also, where we're going to be putting the CTA buttons and things like this. Normally that would go in the center or on the left-hand side, but you can see if we've got the boat there, then it's going to obstruct and make it harder for us to read these. So we may want to reposition the boat on the screen. Next is Grok's Imagine. We can see it's given us 5 different images here that we can look through. And finally, here's the image from Google Gemini. If we moved the boat to the left, it would leave nice room in the middle to add some centered hero text. Personally, I like this from OpenAI the most. I think it's gorgeous, really high detail, but let's make some tweaks to it before turning it into a video. Here's our refinement prompt. This looks great, but rather than the boat being vertically centered in the image, please move it down so that it's in the bottom third of the image. Also, please zoom out a little bit and make the sail look as though it's up and catching wind. Send prompt. I think this second iteration looks great and the positioning is good. You can imagine that if we had some hero text and a call to action button in the middle, then it's going to be on top of the nice blue background instead of a very detailed and conflicting background of the boat like it was before. Within ChatGPT, I can't natively turn this into a video just yet. So what I'm going to do is download this, jump back into Grok Imagine. Here we're going to drop that image we just downloaded. So now I've added this image as a reference image within Grok Imagine, and here's our prompt. Keeping the camera position still, please turn this image into a video where the boat sails in a forward direction to the right-hand side of the image and sails completely out of view. The water should have very subtle waves. Now I've turned this into video mode, 720p, and we've chosen a 10-second duration. Let's build. Google Gemini also allows us to generate videos from images, so let's do the same here. We've added the same reference image. Let's select Create Video and Submit. Let's look at the Grok Imagine video. You can see it's 10 seconds long. Camera position still. It's sailing off to the right. We've got the light shimmer on the water, and it ends as the boat is almost off the screen. Overall, I think this looks really good. Now let's play Gemini's. Okay, so the camera position actually moves to the left after the boat moves off the screen to the right. And I think it looks good. I think the wake coming off the water looks really good. However, because of that fast camera movement off to the left, I think I'm going to stick with the Grok one. Also, it's only 8 seconds, and I think a little bit more time is better for us. If you want, you can redo the video or prompt it again, but I'm quite happy with this. So let's go ahead and download. So we've downloaded the video, but we can see that it's 16.1 megabytes, which is a lot. That's way too much that we should have loading on our landing page. One, it'll take too long for the video to load for anybody on a slow internet connection. And also it's using a lot of bandwidth for us to serve. If you're not sure what I mean by bandwidth, I've come into our project settings here in Bolt, and under Cloud, you can see our limitations. We have a 30 gigabyte a month web hosting bandwidth, which is effectively 1 gigabyte per day. Let's imagine we have a 10 megabyte video. Just to keep the math simple, 10 megabytes into a gigabyte goes 100 times. So 100 visitors per day could load your site before you exceed your hosting bandwidth, which really isn't that much. So let's see how we can optimize this. The first thing I'd like to do is optimize the video as much as you can first before uploading it to the cloud. A great tool you can use for this is Handbrake. Handbrake is a free open source video transcoder that you can download and use to optimize your videos. With Handbrake installed, let's now open that image. With Handbrake installed, let's now open that video we just downloaded. Now let's go to presets, and I'm going to choose fast 720p 30. Feel free to play around with different qualities or sizes here to find what works for you to optimize the video size. Let's give it a name. Let's select Web Optimize. Now that we've done that, let's click Start. A few seconds later, the video has been exported, and now you can see it's only 7.7 megabytes. And it plays, and the quality still looks good. Just out of curiosity for different file sizes, let's try high quality, 720p 30, Web Optimized, and Start. We'll call this Sailing Video 2. Sailing Video 2 is 11 megabytes, whereas Sailing Video 1 is about 7.5. Let's see if there's any quality difference. The quality difference isn't super noticeable, so I'm happy to go with the smaller file size. Now it's time for us to consider what is the most optimal way that you can store this video in the cloud and also optimize it so that you're reducing the amount of bandwidth that you're using. We have three options here. So option one, if you've uploaded logos before, you may have added them here into the public folder of your code base. And this works with small assets, maybe SVGs or very small PNGs. However, as this code base starts to get up to about 8 or 10 megabytes, it really starts to struggle. And it's best just to keep this as code or very small assets. Adding a 7 or 8 megabyte video file into your code base directly is not a good idea, and it will cause significant limitations when it comes to building with Bolt. The second option that you have is to create a bucket within file storage within the Bolt database and effectively store the videos here. Some of you may be saving images this way, which is okay, but when it comes to storing and serving videos, you may quickly exceed that 30 gigabyte bandwidth limitation per month. So let's look into a third option. For those of you who haven't heard of a CDN before, this is an example of a content delivery network. Cloudinary is an image and video API platform where you can store and serve your videos from. One of the big benefits of these is they have a variety of servers around the world, and they make sure to serve your video from a geographically close location to your users. Also, for a CDN like Cloudinary, being specifically built for serving image and video, it means that it can monitor the internet speed of your users and serve lower quality videos if the users have a slower connection to the internet. And this is just one example of the optimizations that they offer. With Cloudinary, to create an account, it's free and you get 25 monthly credits. One credit is equivalent to 1 gigabyte of bandwidth. So effectively, it's giving you 25 gigabytes of web hosting bandwidth per month. Now, this is devoted specifically to your video assets or your images. So by combining this free plan with your Bolt database plan, you're now adding 25 gigabytes of bandwidth to your existing 30 gigabytes of bandwidth. Now that we've created an account and logged in, let's click on upload. Now let's choose our sailing video. We'll choose the 7.7 megabyte one, open, and now we can see it in our asset library. Hovering over the video exposes the copy URL. When we click this, we can see we've got the original here, and we've also got the option to optimize this. So here it creates a optimized URL, and let's copy this. Now let's jump over into Bolt, and here's our prompt. Let's create a landing page for a sailboat rental company. It should use unique fonts and evoke the feeling of freedom and excitement. Please use this URL as the video background of the hero section, and we're going to paste that URL we just copied. Let's put it in plan mode and generate plan. The Bolt agent has finished generating this plan. It's created all the sections, notably the video background section. a full viewport hero section with the provided Cloudinary video. It's looping, muted, and autoplay. It overlays a subtle dark gradient on the video to ensure the text legibility, adds a bold headline, and more. Now let's come down. We've got a few clarifying questions. We'll answer those, turn it off plan mode, and let's build. Okay, the agent's finished working, and have a look at this. In our very first prompt, we were able to add the moving background to our hero section. It looks great, and it's got a nice coral themed color palette. As long as the video isn't too complex and the overlay doesn't clash too much, then this can be a great engaging way to add life into your hero section. Let's now tweak the position of this heading and the call to action buttons. Here's our prompt. Move the text and buttons on the hero section up by about 10% of the page view height. Also, reduce the size of the hero section by a little bit and slightly shrink the explore, our fleet, and learn more buttons. They should have a slow sequential load-in animation. The prompt's complete. Let's reload the page and watch it. Nice. I've got a slightly smaller header and smaller C to A buttons. I like it. Now it's got a little bit more professional polish to it. Let's test it out in mobile. We'll reload the page. Looks good. Looks very good. And I like how the boat almost goes off, leaving it all blue. Now the final test is let's publish this and see how much bandwidth it's drawing. So here we are on the live site. Let's refresh. Nice. I like how that looks. And to see how much bandwidth it's using, we're going to right click, click inspect, and jump over into the network tab. Now let's reload the page again. And here we can see all of the files and their file size, which were loaded when we reloaded the page. Here is our sailing video, and notice it's only 2.2 megabytes. You may be wondering, how is this only 2.2 megabytes when we uploaded a 7.7 megabyte file to Cloudinary? And that's one of the biggest benefits of using a service like Cloudinary. It can automatically deliver optimized assets to improve performance and reduce file size. So by using this optimized URL, we're now loading a file size which is about 1/3 of the original, noting that on average, they get a 60% reduction in file size. Now let's do some quick maths. If we had added the original video of 7.7 megabytes into Bolt with a 30 gigabyte bandwidth limitation per month, our visitors could load the site about 130 times every day before we need to start paying for bandwidth. Now, if we look at Cloudinary, where we get 25 free gigabytes of bandwidth per month, and we divide that by the optimized file size, 2.2 megabytes, we can serve this site to about 380 visitors per day before we need to start paying for bandwidth. It's almost triple, which is great for us, and the video will load a lot faster for our viewers. The final thing I'd like to point out is when we were building this project and we answered the clarifying questions, we told the Bolt agent to generate its own images for this fleet section of the website here. Looking at the network tab, I can see that each of these images is between 1 and 2 megabytes, which is a lot larger than it should be for an image of this size. So it's always a great habit for you to get into once you're ready to publish your site and share it with a large audience, to check exactly what assets you're sharing so that you can optimize the bandwidth that you're using. So there we go. In this video, you've learned to use a variety of the state-of-the-art image generation models to create an image, then turn that image into a video, optimize the video size using Handbrake, and upload it to a CDN like Cloudinary so that you can host it and add it onto your Bolt website. This is a great way that you can add movement, excitement, and engagement into your Bolt website. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. If there's any content you'd like to learn more about, please add it in the comments below and we'll do our best to get to it. And with that, all the best implementing a video into your website.